Hi, and welcome to Carolina Varsity's look at Week 5 Players of the Week. I'm Dale Ross.
I'm the pep man, Matt Murrell. We're start with the game that we both attended, Huff and Independence. And the first guy I want to name from that game is Kelvin Hopkins, the quarterback for Indy. I think this is the best game he played. To go against the Huff secondary, they did some things to kind of free their receivers up. But he threw the ball really well. And he also ran well. They ran some zone read where he kept the ball. Ran some speed option where he turned the corner and got some key first downs. Stats were not that gaudy. 10 or 20 for 178, 2 touchdowns. But I thought he managed the game really well and gave his team a chance to win.
Yeah, I picked him also. So, I agree with everything you say. 10, 20, 178, 2 TDs. I picked Tylan and Murrell. Obviously, as you told me after the game, the obvious choice. I picked him actually in the first half, probably there towards the end of the first half. He looked like he took that game over. He was 32 carries, 180 yards, 2 TDs. In a real big ball game where they needed that. I'm going to give a shout out to his quarterback, Tilley. I thought he managed the game very well. His stats are kind of 7 of 18, 91 yards, 1 TD. But I thought he ran the offense and managed the game, especially that last drive.
Yeah, when they went to that no huddle and just caught Independence off guard and they were able to score. Jamiek Davis, wide receiver for Independence. They got so many good receivers out there. And, with Kofa and Jenkins and those guys, he's kind of been overshadowed. But I tell you, 2 touchdown catches. The first one, it was a jump ball, and he just went and got it and scored. Opened my eyes a lot. I don't know if he's being recruited, but, UNC Charlotte, somebody needs to go talk to those guys. I know Kofa's committed to UNC Charlotte. Maybe he'll take Davis with him.
Well, and I'm going to mention, because I had him on my recaps, Adonis Alexander, the defense, 6'4" kid, number 22 for Independence. We talked about it after the game. He played. He might have been the best DB on the field last night.
That's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot. There were a lot on that field Friday night.
Also, Carl Tucker, wide receiver for Huff, wore number 2. Good sized kid. Looks like he's about 6'3", good speed, 20-yard TD catch, had several key catches on third down for conversions to keep drives going. He's only a junior, transferred from J.M. Robinson, and if you hadn't seen him in other Huff games, he just got qualified and everything. So once he gets in the offense more and gets acclimated, that's going to be a big weapon for them on the outside to go along with Brett Walker and Caleb Hines.
I didn't know that about the kids. So. It just steps Huff up a little bit then. He is a good ball player. Is that all from the Indy Huff game? Okay, so next thing I did was, we didn't get a lot of nominations this week, so I kind of looked at games that I thought were real important. And, of course, we talked about the Sun Valley-Porter Ridge game. And what's big about that game was that Sun Valley won. I think we both picked Porter Ridge. And so Albert Funderburke is my player of the week from that ball game. 21 carries, 273 yards, 3 TDs, 66 and 58 yards. Really kind of led that team to not just a win, but a narrow win, but a 42-28 win. Pretty big game for him. I think I've seen he's only have an offer from Duke. I don't understand that. He's definitely one of the top backs in the area.
Totally agree. On the flip side for Porter Ridge, Casey Hardison, 4 catches for 131 and a touchdown, and also had an interception. Though you lost the game, that's a good job for a kid that I haven't heard much about before. So maybe this is a new star, kind of stepping up for Porter Ridge.
Right. They need another one. Luke Bailey, the cool shades guy, as we saw put on a forum. Real quickly, another big game that we didn't expect to go like we thought it would. We ate crow earlier. The Butler Richmond game. Anthony Ratliff with both his feet and his arm. He had a total of, great, I don't have his total there, but I have his total over here. His total offense was 479 yards, 327 passing, 152 rushing. And then his receiver, the new guy, Alex Barrel, he had 5 catches, 155 yards. He was nominated. So real good game, guys.
Great job for Butler there, definitely. Next one for me, Kydrian Green at Vance. 26 carries, 193 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, Vance has multiple threats in that backfield on their wing tee. And this guy's he does the grinding work. He gets the 4-yard runs, the 5-yard runs that sets up the counters for Moquan Pratt to go around the corner and streak from 40 and 50-yard touchdowns. So, good job, Kydrian. Once again, another guy that I coached at Harding, and of course we had him on defense, so that shows how much we know. That's why I'm not coaching. Good job, son.
Very good job. I want to throw a guy out from that game, Kerrion Moore. We talk about him a lot. He had 177 yards receiving, 2 TDs in that same game, a loss. They played some tough teams. He's played well. Had another very good game against a team that we have up in our top 5 of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg team. So, very good ball game.
Good job. Of course, this guy gets a lot of notoriety.
Yes.
Tyler Bray, South Point, big fullback, 23 carries, 270 yards, and 4 touchdowns against AC Reynolds. Tough place to go and play. They went up there and put 52 on them. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, nothing at all.
And the South Point, Red Raiders, they just keep winning down there in Belmont.
Exactly. Well, when you got a kid like that in your backfield, I had also selected him. We didn't meet. We came together. We had the same player. He had a really good ball game.
Oh, yeah.
We mention his name a lot whenever South Point comes up. Obviously, he's a kid that gets mentioned. Led his team to a big victory up in Asheville. That was up at AC Reynolds. My next pick is ThomasJackson of Country Day. So again, I looked at games, and we kind of felt like Country Day had a shot at Hillside because they're a very well coached team. Oh, they went up and they won 25-21. He had 241 yards of all-purpose. That's rushing, receiving, punt returns, and kick returns. The team had 381, so he had well over 2/3 of the team's total yards that they got. 10 receptions, 119 yards. This stat I'm not certain on Max Preps. It said 4 rushes, 37 yards. On the Durham Herald website, they said he had 53, but he also returned a punt 65 yards for the go-ahead score to win the ball game. So ThomasJackson, a Country Day, you played a very good ball game for your team.
Congratulations, you're doing it all over there, man. Tylan Ruff for Burns out in Lawndale. This guy, best drive ever. 41-yard reception on 4th and 10 on their final drive. And also the game-winning touchdown run on the same drive with 40 seconds left to defeat Kings Mountain 20-15. Not huge stats overall, but that's stepping up in the clutch. And that's player of the week for me. Good job.
That's stepping up against kind of a rival too. That's a rival game. That is stepping up. Way to go. Coach Harmon over at Rocky River nominated Rashaad Brannon. He had 18 carries, 168 yards, 1 TD. And he had 1 reception, I believe it was off of a screen pass for 18 yards in a TD. So 168 yards on 18 carries, that's not too bad.
Good job.
That's probably about 9 yards. I do the math in my head, but
it's too advanced.
That's too advanced for us. But anyway, very good ball game out of one of the running backs. One of those 3-headed monsters, I guess, over there.
Yes, sir. Dashaw Andrews for York quarterback. 11-18, 273 yards and 6 touchdown passes in their victory Friday night. We don't hear a lot about York offensively. They're known for their defense, but 6 touchdowns, that's player of the week worthy. Good job to Mr. Andrews down there.
Definitely player of the week worthy. My next guy is, we mentioned him in the previous video, Omar Baker over at Bray. He was 16 to 22, 225 yards, 4 TDs, had 287 yards of total offense in their West Side win over what may become a rival, who knows, West Charlotte 33-14. So, you know, a lot of those kids that go to Bray, I'm sure have parents have roots in Harding. So, so
Battle of Allegheny's coming.
and that battle's coming too. And I just mentioned that because that kind of carries over to that West Charlotte thing. So we'll see. They don't play often, so.
Right. My last guy for this week, Jareke Chambers, the quarterback in North Rowan, the #1 team in 2A in the state. This guy had 232 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns that broke a school record in their victory over Providence Grove. And Jareke is not the starting quarterback. He's filling in for the guy who's starting. So that shows you how good North Rowan is.
Yes.
You know, we saw them in the preseason scrimmage, so they're just doing what we thought they'd do and dominating things down to the 2A ranks.
Exactly. If the video's still running, I'm going to throw out a couple of names. Clay Norris, Myers Park. He was 20 of 34, 182, 2 TDs. Landon Hammer at Alexander Central. He had 2 runs for 2 passes for 55 yards, 1 TD. He had 10 carries for 214 yards. Obviously option, and he opts more to, sounds like an option offense, and he opts more to run than throw. And Jake McRee at Maiden, he was 8 of 16, 206 yards, 4 TDs, and a win over South Caldwell. And that's really it. We've talked about other players in the recap. So
good job, guys. Congratulations. Keep it up, and we'll keep featuring you guys when you do anything on the field.
thank you.